You're listening to Genuine Chit-Chat. This show is for real.
Hello friends, just a quick message to say, obviously thank you for tuning in as always, but this was an episode taken from my Patreon, which you can check out, patreon.com/genuinechitchat. A link will be in the description, as well as a link to bit.ly/TomHanks1 to hear another free Patreon episode. But I want to clarify to any new listeners that when you hear this full episode in itself, the quality of the audio is not going to be up to the usual standard, because usually I record with a decent microphone in a room with a degree of sound insulation, whereas this episode, as it was a Patreon exclusive, much like most of the ones I do with Megan when we're on a road trip, it's normally on the drive back from a road trip. So it's recorded on my phone in a moving car. So that's the reason why the quality be lower than usual. And I just want to add in here, because I'm away, I'm not going to put a bit at the end of the conversation as I usually do. So it would just be this intro and then the full conversation, and that is it. It was recorded in June, so be aware that we speak about getting a puppy and things. And obviously we've since done an episode about having the puppy and whatnot. So obviously yourselves will be aware of that. And I will say that next week's episode should be part one of my conversation with Ada McCartney. So very excited to release that. But yeah, I just want to say that. So thank you for the support as always. And if you want to hear even more genuine chit chat, there are hundreds of episodes of Afterthoughts on my Patreon. So please consider checking that out. Follow me on social media, rate the show, and tell your friends about it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening as always, and I will speak to you very soon.
Welcome to Genuine Chit-Chat, where we have honest conversations with interesting people. And I'm your host, Mike Burton.
And here we are with another Afterthoughts.
Afterthoughts? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about our little trip we had on the Isle of Wight, but we can tell you lovely patrons something quite exciting, that we went and viewed a puppy today.
Puppies!
And we loved the puppy, we loved the mum, we loved the breeders, breeders, and we met some of the other pupperoos, and yeah. So
And we've chosen a puppy and we're going to have a girl.
Yeah. And it's a cockapoo, so a cocker spaniel cross
With a poodle.
And I think the mum is a toy poodle, or is she a cockapoo?
She's a cockapoo.
Yeah.
I think Mum's mum is a toy poodle and Dad is a cocker spaniel, I believe.
Yeah. So the dog is going to be cockapoo like 50%, and then spaniel 50%.
I don't know.
So
we're getting a puppy.
We're driving back
a puppy.
from just seeing the puppy, and everything went well, so it's good. We're going to get home, send the money over for the deposit, and then we're going to pick her up in 4 weeks. So very exciting stuff. So I want to tell you guys that. A lot of fun. And I'll make sure we put some pictures up on Patreon as well, just to get a couple of pictures of the very cute pupper. But that is not why we're recording today. We're recording because we want to talk about our trip to the Isle of Wight. So Isle of Wight is in the very south of England. If you look at a map of the UK, you'll see a little island right below England, and that's the Isle of Wight. It's right near where we live, Southampton. It's just a ferry ride across. And we've both been there before when we were like quite a lot younger, but neither of us could really remember anything about it.
I literally don't remember going to the Isle of Wight at all, apart from going on a walk of school.
I remember going there. They've got like a fairground place there that's quite popular that I know I've been to, but I can remember nothing about it. So yeah, it was really, really cool going to the Isle of Wight. The main reason we went is because for Christmas I bought Megan a zookeeper for a day experience. I bought it for both of us, but it was a gift for her. So we got to go and spend about 6 hours in a zoo. Shout out to Karen, because she was our zookeeper guide.
Big
She
up,
was
Karen.
awesome. Nothing like the stereotypical Karens. She was a really, really lovely person. And we got to experience stuff that normal zoo goers don't get to experience. And we got a little certificate as well.
I did get a little... Well, we have got certificates.
Oh, I forgot to look at the photo. Oh, no, we haven't had time to look at the photos.
We haven't looked at the photos. Karen also had a camera with her and she was taking pictures throughout the day, and then she gave us a memory stick with all of the pictures on it. But because we got back this morning from the Isle of Wight, and then we basically just went home, relaxed for a sweet second.
We went home, had a coffee.
And then had a coffee, and then we drove straight to Bracknell, which is about an hour away from us, to go and meet the puppies. We haven't actually had a chance to look at the photos, but we will eventually, and I'm sure Mike will put some of those up on the Patreon feed.
Yeah. So the day started out with us going to see some big cats. So we got to see a couple of lions up close, which is cool. But we got to go inside the Tiger Enclosure, where Megan got
Obviously, without the tigers being in there.
Yeah, safety and everything. The tigers
were in their bedrooms.
Yeah, they got moved, and then we went in there. the keepers looked around to make sure there's nothing amiss, and Megan picked up some poop.
I did. I picked up some tiger poo, and it really, really smelled. And there was 2 different types of tiger poo, so depending on what they eat, their poo is different. But I guess that's the same for any animal, including
us. Yeah.
So there was like one that was quite dark and
it looked like
and slodgier. That was because they'd eaten a lot of meat, and then there was one poo that was like really white, and it's because they'd eaten more of the bone, which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Even though it is just poo. But yeah, so that was really cool. It's not something that you can really say every day, is that you've picked up tiger poo.
Yeah. And then we saw the tiger get moved from one of the enclosures to the other enclosure through this
tunnel.
It was a tunnel, yeah, but it was made out of like fencing almost. It was like a fenced tunnel. And so we're really close. We're only about 1.5 meters away from like a full-grown tiger. It was incredible, majestic.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Beautiful coat. And then we got to see it eat. It climbed up this pole, and there was a horse rib cage or something? They put the top
I think it was horse. I can't remember, actually. I know that one of the tigers got fed horse. I don't know if that one was horse. It might have been beef.
Yeah, because it was at the Wildheart Animal Sanctuary, and they specialise in rescuing animals. One of the tigers, not the one we saw eat, the other one that we also saw, she used to be in the circus, and it's quite sad. She's got a limp.
She's got a really horrible limp. She used to be in a circus in Spain, and she had the limp when they got her, and they did some x-rays, and what they can gather is that at some point the tiger's leg got broken, but wasn't set properly, so it's now set in incorrectly, which is causing her to have a limp. But in order for it to be reset, it just wouldn't be good on the well-being of the tiger. But they do monitor her every day and give her regular checks to make sure that she's not in pain.
Yeah, just which is sad. But the good thing is about the Wildheart Animal Sanctuary is that they specialise in animals that have been through traumatic things, or they use a lot of the money because they're kind of a charity. They're a trust, so they use a lot of their money to try and change policy. They collaborate with some dude who came over from India and they're trying to help tiger sanctuaries.
Yeah, because they don't do breeding there. It's literally rescuing animals and making sure that they're looked after.
Yeah, so we got to see the tiger climb up this telephone pole, which was probably 4 meters off the ground.
It was really cool.
Yeah, watch the tiger
considering
climb
they're
up.
such a big animal, it was really cool.
Yeah, it's like if a tiger's chasing you, don't climb up a tree.
Yeah.
Because they will get you. But what was also interesting is we saw a couple of lions who were males who didn't have manes. Do you remember those?
Yeah, because they'd been castrated.
Like really early on.
Which I didn't know that if lions got castrated, their manes didn't grow. And then I asked, apparently if they have their manes and they've already grown, if they then get castrated, their manes fall out.
Yeah. So
which is interesting.
We learned a lot of cool things about that. We got to see some wallabies and got to see some servals,
yeah.
Which were cool as well. And then after that, we went to
the meerkats.
It was the meerkats. What do you tell about the meerkats, Megan?
The meerkats was the best. So there was another group with us on that. So Mike and I were together just for the day by ourselves with Karen, apart from when we did the meerkats, because there was another group that was doing the meerkat experience. So Karen had loads of, they were like mealworms, weren't they? Yeah. And then we got to sit on the floor. You could either sit on the bench or you could sit on the floor, but obviously Mike and I like to do everything to the best.
Get involved. So we got to sit on the floor, and then they threw mealworms all over the floor, and then meerkats were literally just running all over us. It was so cool. They were so cute. Yeah, because you're not allowed to pet meerkats, because they're quite defensive animals, so they freak out if you try and pet them, which is understandable. Because they see us as predators. Yeah, exactly. So it's like they don't want us grabbing them, and they're also, they wouldn't be able to do any real damage to you, but they probably bite you or nip you, and you don't really want that, and you don't want to cause any distress to the meerkats. So you just sit there and you can feel them on your legs, because it was a very, very hot day, so we're wearing shorts and things, so you could feel their fur rubbing against us. They were so soft. They were soft. And it was so cute. One of them was like the sentry, because meerkats, they're pack animals, and one of them is always looking out for birds of prey flying over or predators. So there was one that stood next to me, trying to make sure, because they're like helicopters or planes flying over. Yeah, he was being the protector of the group. Yeah, and he stood right next to me. He was on his little hind legs, looking around. There's a pretty cool picture Megan got where I was looking at him and he was looking at me. Yeah, it was really cute. The meerkat was definitely a highlight. The meerkat thing was my favourite. I really loved the whole day, but the meerkat thing in particular was my favourite. Yeah, it was so interactive. It was just nice being able to just hear a lot of information about meerkats. I mean, we knew pretty much all of it because we've been to so many meerkat talks in zoos. Because whenever we go to zoos, we try and go to all the talks. But we've been to so many zoos now, the vast majority of the time we've heard basically everything, but we still like seeing them getting interactive stuff. So we saw the beer cats, we had some lunch, a nice pizza. And then I think it was the lemurs.
Yeah, after lunch we went and saw the lemurs. We got to take some food with us and we got to hand feed some lemurs through the grating. And they were really friendly.
Well, to us, not to the other lemurs.
Yeah, the lemurs were mean to some of the other lemurs because they were like the boss ones and they wanted all the food. So we had to try and like distract the mean lemurs so that one of us could go and feed the lemurs that were being bullied and didn't get to have the food.
Yeah, the treats, because it was like, normally when they feed them, they separate them in their own little pens, and then they feed them, because as with most animals, if you get a bigger, stronger animal and a smaller animal, the bigger, stronger animal will just eat the smaller animal's food. It's just one of those things. So we feed them through the grates, but it was the mongoose lemurs were the small ones. So there's ringtails that we didn't feed, then there were I can't remember the name of the other ones, which were the bigger ones that we
I
fed.
can't remember the names either.
They were the
rough lemurs.
Rough lemurs, yeah, they're black and white lemurs that aren't the ring-tailed ones.
Yeah, and there was the rough lemurs, which were like the orangey ones that we did get to feed.
Yeah, so it was like cut up bits of grape, blueberry, and she showed us like the charts of like what foods you could give them just as a treat.
These were the special treat foods.
Yeah, which they only get given them quite rarely, but it's mainly when I think there's encounters and stuff. So they were like coming right up to the grating and like holding on. Like anyone on social media, if they follow at Genuine Chit-Chat on Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, you should be able to see them. I think Instagram's probably the best place to have seen all those photos and stuff. There's also a couple of videos on there as well, but it's really, seeing the lemurs was so much fun, like as well. Like I've never been that close to lemurs, you get to see their hands and stuff.
Yeah. Where did we go after the lemurs?
I was going to say, they poop like 40 times, 20 to 40
times a day. Oh, they do poop a lot, yeah.
Which is madness. Their metabolism just goes immediately through them, which is gross and interesting. Where did we go after the lemurs?
After the lemurs, we went to the raccoons.
Oh, yes. That was my highlight.
Then, Mike made a new girlfriend in the raccoon that is called Liberty. Liberty fancied Mike.
She did,
She was flirting with him, according to the zookeeper.
Yeah, so there's two raccoons that live together. I think it was Otto, Liberty, and then there was a coati that lived with them as well.
No, they were all lemurs. They were all raccoons.
No, one of them was a coati.
Was it?
The gummy one, it was the same thing as we saw in...
I'm pretty sure she was called Sattler,
Saturn, wasn't it?
Sattler.
She was a coati man.
Oh.
She was the same species as things we saw in Mexico.
I thought that was just a weird-looking raccoon.
Hey, that raccoon looks nothing like a raccoon I've ever seen in my life. That's because it was a coati man. She was a really old girl.
She was all gummy.
Yeah, she had like 3 teeth. But we feed them grapes, and it was just grapes, though, wasn't it?
It was just grapes, yeah.
Meg got some brilliant pictures of feeding the raccoon.
Yeah, the raccoon Liberty, again, Mike's new girlfriend. Yeah.
Because tell about what we went into her little lodge and stuff.
Yeah, so she has like a little, like, if you think of like a traditional, like, American wood lodge cabin, the kind of thing, that's literally what I was about to say, the kind of thing that Ron Swanson would have, like, in the middle of the fucking woods, or that guy, well, what's the police officer's name in, Strange Things, Hopper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Hopper's got a little lodge, hasn't he? It's kind of that kind of thing. She has her own lodge. So we went in there and we sat on the bed, and then she was like climbing all over the bed trying to get grapes. And
we saw her before, didn't we? Because we had
we saw her in the morning because we had 30 minutes just to chill before the experience started. So we were just wandering around, and she's so lazy. She had her bowl of food like behind her head, and she was laying on her back, and then she was just getting her arm and trying to reach for the food while she was still on her back and just eating off of her stomach, like she was some sort of like Greek god.
Yeah, like a hedonist. It was almost like where she's like feeding herself grapes.
Yeah. But yeah, she was flirting with Mike.
Yeah, according to the zookeeper. So we both sat on a bed, and then we fed her and the coati grapes. The other raccoon, Otto, is a bit more timid, so he
did come into the house. We did get to see him.
Yeah. But I think him and Liberty had the most amount of trauma of any animals there, aside from the tiger we mentioned.
Yeah, the zookeeper was telling us that Liberty was found in a house in was it France? Or no, was it?
I think it was either France or Spain.
It was either France or England.
Right.
And she'd been living in the house, and when she'd done something that the person who owned her didn't like, he would kick her in the face.
Yeah.
And this is like literally one of the gentlest animals I've ever met in my life. She was so kind.
Yeah, I mean, raccoons are very intelligent creatures as well. And obviously they've got like opposable thumbs, and they're very good at problem solving. And they live in packs, I think, as well. So they're very sociable mammals and things.
Yeah, except in England, because they're not native, they have to be spayed or like castrated or neutered or whatever. They have to be able to not have babies.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would literally take over the ecosystem.
Yeah. Like they have somewhere in America.
Yeah. But yeah, Liberty was cool, and she fancied Mike.
Yeah, because basically we sat on the bed feeding her and the coati grapes, and then after giving her grapes and stuff, and we ran out of grapes, the coati then just kind of toddled off. But then the raccoon Liberty climbed up, so we were sat on her bed, and it was like literally a camper bed, wasn't it? It was like we sat on her bed, we were feeding her, and so she climbed up next to us, and walked behind Megan, right next to me, and then laid next to me. And then she was like, kept rolling over and looking at me while she was like rolling over and stuff. And because when we're going around with Karen, who's telling us a lot of information, helping us prep the food and other kind of stuff like that. But the zookeepers themselves were the ones who were specialists and were telling us the more information about it. And so the zookeeper there, I think Carly or Carla or something.
Kerry,
that was it. She was really, really cool. She had like a Harry Potter tattoo, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But she was saying, oh, she's flirting with you because she's like rolling over and she'll go back and that sort of stuff, being vulnerable next to you. So she was like, she likes being scratched behind the ruff of her neck. So I was scratching the ruff of her neck, and then she was taking my hand and was like just holding my hand, and then started nibbling really gently on the ends of my fingernails, like grooming me.
She was trying to bite your fingernails.
But the thing is, she wasn't biting very hard, so she wasn't actually trying to like bite my fingernails off, because my fingernails were quite long at the time. My fingernails aren't that hard, so it's not hard to be able to bite them off. She was just gently nibbling on each of my fingernails, and whenever I moved my hand away from her, she'd just look at me and slowly reach for my hand and pull it back close to her, which was very cute. So I had a raccoon holding my hand we were in there for a while.
We were in there for quite a bit, yeah.
And she was like, I've never seen her chew someone's fingernails before. She was really like you. I was like, yep, raccoon whisperer. Clearly.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, we got a little key ring for the spare key for our house, and we got the one with Liberty on it. So we got Raccoon Liberty coming home with us because she is Mike's new girlfriend.
I mean, it would be. I think people do have them as pets, not generally in the UK, but you can have raccoons as pets. They're just. It's kind of like when people have foxes. It's like they're similar-ish to the way you would have a dog, but they've got a lot of weird quirks that you really have to be fully invested in to sort them out.
Yeah.
Then what do we do after the raccoons?
After that, we went and saw the piggies.
How do we sort out the enrichment?
So we got to do enrichment. So we got a cardboard box and filled it with like newspaper and stuff, and then we got to put down some pellets. And it means that they can't just eat the food; they have to try and hunt for the pellets. So we got 2 boxes, one each, where we had to do that. And then we went and saw the piggies, and they were called Snuffles and Truffles. And then we threw the boxes in, and they just like went for it. Except Snuffles was really mean. Snuffles was like a mean pig.
She was the dominant one.
She was the dominant one. She kept going over the truffles and like getting them out the way so that she could have all of the food.
She gave up on her box.
She gave up on her box because she found it too difficult. Went over to Truffles' box because he'd already opened it. So Truffles went over to her box, managed to open it, and then she went back to it.
Yeah, pushed them out of the way.
Mean. But they were really cute. I gave them some pets. And then we got to go feed the goats some willow. So that was really cool. And the goats were massive. They literally ran over and jumped up at us. They were huge. So there was two massive goats.
Yeah, they were giant. They were like bigger than any sheep I've seen.
They literally looked like they could have jumped over the fence.
They look like camels. Almost.
Yeah. They did look like
they
camels.
They were really big. I've never seen a goat that big, let alone 2.
No, that was really cool.
But the other goats were like small. I think pygmy goats they're called.
Yeah.
They were so deadly.
After the goats, we went and did some foraging because we went to go see the tortoises. But when we went to see the tortoises, they were asleep. So
but they had a busy day.
They did have a busy day because there was a children's birthday party that day where they got to be like handled by children. So they were a snoozy. So we just left them be because obviously I know what a tortoise is like.
Well, we also know from Raquel if she has a busy day and she's out interacting with a lot of people.
Be left alone.
After that, she just snoozes.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool. And then, as Mike said, we got some certificates. And then when we get home today, we'll have a look through the pictures. But it was a really great birthday present or Christmas present. Christmas present, wasn't it? Yeah, it was one of the best. It was the best zoo experience I've ever done. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean the zoo itself is really cool, but it's quite a small zoo because it's more so.
Well, it's less than £15 to go in.
Yeah. For anyone who's from, especially the south of the UK, like it's smaller than Barwell, definitely smaller than Hogley. You'd probably be there a couple hours, I think, maybe a few hours. Like,
yeah,
you could, if you went to all the talks, you could probably be there for most of the day, but I think it's probably a 3, maybe 4 hour.
I don't even think it would be 4 hours. It's not that big. I reckon 3 hours max. Really.
Yeah, probably 2 to 3 hours, I'd say. But for the price, it's really good. The only thing I'd say is they had a surprisingly small gift shop.
Yeah, the gift shop was quite small.
Because normally you go to places like zoos, they've got everything. They've got loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we want to get a little pimp badge, but We did manage to.
That car is so low to the ground.
Yeah, what was that?
We're driving and there's just a car that is so low to the ground. It looks like the bumper is like close to touching the floor.
You wouldn't want to go over a speed bump with that.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like a mini,
It's like a really old school vehicle.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our experience of the Isle of Wight. And then after that, we went to, after the zoo and stuff, went back to the hotel, got changed, whatever, then we went for a walk, and we came across such a cool arcade. Because Megan loves arcades.
I do love arcades, however, I was fuming. I was so angry. So basically, we spent ages on the claw machine. Well, actually, let's rein it back. We did loads of stuff. We won a load of tickets. We then got a scented candle with our tickets, which is cool. Then I went on the Deal or No Deal machine, and I don't know if in the States they have Deal or No Deal, but I'm not going to explain the premise of the show.
Well, there's 20 boxes.
You
You
have
choose
to
one
pick
at the
a
start,
box.
and then you eliminate the boxes.
And then basically the box that you end up with is the amount of money that you win. So on this Deal or No Deal, the maximum that you can win if you pay for £1, because you can double up, the maximum you can win is 200 tickets. And I bloody won!
Top prize.
We won the top prize. We won 200 tickets, which was really cool. But we'd already spent our tickets, so you can't really get anything for 200.
Just tat.
So we actually ended up giving away the 200 tickets to a family that had some children that were like playing games just to be nice. But at least I won Deal or No Deal, and it's the first time that's ever happened in my life. It was so exciting. Then I was really mad because we went on the claw machine to try and win Grogu, aka Baby Yoda. And on one of Mike's turns, obviously claw machines are set up so that they let go of the toy because they don't want everyone to get it. And then it's a certain like algorithm, isn't it? However many you do it, it will finally grab it.
Yeah,
and then
it
you
slowly
win.
gets harder and harder and harder, and then when it seems like it's going to win, it then becomes loose again.
I was fucking angry because we definitely should have won. Mike's thing, he picked it up, went all the way to the thing, it dropped it, and then fucking Baby Yoda's head bounced off the plastic that releases it to get it, and bounced back in. It ricocheted off the plastic and back into the arcade, like, grabber thing. So I was really, really mad.
Maybe the woman next to us.
Yeah, the woman next to us was like, I feel so sorry for you.
She said I was heartbroken.
Yeah, I was so
Because literally,
angry.
it was holding Baby Yoda after, like, what, £2 we spent? 2 or 3 quid? And I was like, oh my god, I got it. And it was like, oh my god, it's
We were literally saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because we were actually going to do it. We were so excited because, like,
so
we were going to get it. We were definitely going to get it. And then, yeah, it bounced off the plastic and bounced back into the pit.
We spent about another 3 or 4 quid trying to get it.
Yeah, because I was so mad. I, like, wanted to punch the machine. And I also wanted to swear, but fortunately I didn't because there were lots of children around. I managed to rein it in. But then I was really angry.
Yeah. But a bit before that, we did have a really nice meal. I think it was called Waterfront or something.
Yeah, we went and had a nice meal. We shared some prawns to start. And then I had crab macaroni cheese, which
You've
was
had that before,
delicious.
haven't
I've never had it before. It was really yummy.
Yeah, we had the breaded. They're called like if you have an
breaded
Indian
prawns.
if you have an Indian restaurant, they're butterflied or butter fried, depending where you go. But it's basically just you get a prawn, you deep fry it in breadcrumbs.
And you had some ribs as your main, didn't you?
Really good ribs. The barbecue ribs are really nice, and they had steak cut chips, which is my favourite way of having chips. And they were proper big.
They were
They
chunky.
were massive. I love really big, thick, chunky chips. They're really fluffy on the inside.
And then we had a couple of drinks each. I had an espresso martini and a
passion fruit
martini.
which is basically a porn star martini, but they didn't call it that.
Yeah, but it was yummy.
Yeah, and I had some vodka. The first drink I
You
was
had a
vodka.
Mule.
Moscow Mule, which I've never heard of before. But it was vodka.
It's a very common cocktail.
Is it?
Yeah, I've heard of the Moscow Mule.
Well, it was vodka, lime, and ginger beer, and I love ginger beer. And then the second one I had was I had some ginger beer left over in the bottle, so I got a shot of Kraken rum, which is some really strong spiced black rum. It's really, really nice. And I just had a shot of that with the rest of the ginger beer, and that was very tasty. But yeah, that was that. And then we stayed at the hotel, had a sleep, woke up in the morning, got the ferry back, and then went and saw the Paparoos. And now we're heading home to then grab
Do some
couple of
packing.
boxes and then go to the flat to grab some of the last things from the flat to take to the house. And then maybe we'll have a bit of time to chill. And then for the next couple of weeks we'll be puppy-proof in the house.
Puppy-proof in the house so that we can get a puppy!
Yes, and then you'll definitely need to follow Megan at Grits Gets Fit on Instagram.
Oh yeah, so I've been so rubbish with being on social media just because it's not been an appropriate time to be on social media for me. But
It's just been so busy as well.
it's just been so busy, and there's been other priorities that are more important. So
Changing job, we've got the house,
yeah,
the flat.
but when we get the puppy, and hopefully once I finish at my job for the summer, I'll have some more time for Grits Gets Fit. But there will definitely be appearances of future Pupperoo on there.
Yeah. Indeedy. But yeah, so that was a little roundup of our Isle of Wight trip. I don't know where we're next going. Anywhere interesting.
Well, we won't be going anywhere for a while because we're getting a puppy.
We'll go to Cheltenham in a few weeks, and we're going to see the Bake Off musical.
Yeah,
So
we need to get a dog sitter for the day.
We will do, yeah. For the Bake Off, the musical, so as in the Great British Bake Off, there's an officially licensed musical that is in Cheltenham for like a month, and then it's moving to the West End. So I think we'll probably do an Afterthoughts on the drive back from that.
Yeah.
Talking about that, because we've done a couple of Afterthoughts lives, and that's whenever Megan cracks out her singing, which people really like with the Les Miserables and the Book of Mormon ones. People love to hear you sing. I've had a few comments about that.
Well,
so.
I am a fantastic singer.
You are a good singer.
I'm not a fantastic
I'm
singer.
actively quite a bad singer. You are a good singer.
I can sing in tune.
Yeah. You like harmonies, so you're like perfect for group stuff. Because you prefer doing harmonies.
The problem is that I'm not perfect for group stuff because I get distracted and I can't stay on what I'm supposed to be doing. So when I have been in, when I was in a choir at college, I found it really difficult to sing the tenor part because I would get distracted by the sopranos. But anyway.
Yeah. But that's probably what we've got for the future. We are going to, maybe go. I'm hoping we'll have time to go to the cinema once or twice before the Pupperoo. But I don't know if that's wishful thinking. But I want to see Jurassic World Dominion.
I reckon we'll be able to go to the cinema.
Well, we're going to go see Love and Thunder, definitely.
Yeah, we'll have time.
There's no way we'll be seeing that.
Well, after Tuesday, once everything's sorted with the house and the flat, and we're out of the flat and there's nothing there, then it's fine. After that, it's fine.
Yeah, and we need to get back on the Tom Hanks rewatch, because I know a lot of people were saying that was their favourite Patreon stuff we've been doing.
It's just bloody nuts, everyone, at the moment. It's just insanely busy all of the fucking time, to be honest.
Yeah, we haven't had time to watch a movie apart from when we watched Sonic the Hedgehog the other day, and that was just because we were meant to be doing house stuff. We were so exhausted, we just gave up. We were like, let's just have this evening to have a breather. And then obviously we're watching Kenobi, which is almost finished. We started Ms. Marvel, because we're going to go on a Rhea Rotonda's show about that. There's also Stranger Things. There's also The Boys that we haven't started. So it's like, and also RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7 All-Stars, which we've been watching that. But it's like, we also want to watch movies. We need to watch Philadelphia, and then we get to watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah, boy!
Maybe we can watch Forrest Gump when we have the puppy, because it doesn't matter if we don't watch as much of that. But
maybe
we'll probably have to watch Philadelphia before that, because otherwise we get distracted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But thank you so much for listening, as always. Friends, we appreciate all of you lovely Patreon supporters for supporting the show. It means the absolute world to us. And please let us know what you thought, especially our UK friends, if you've been to the Isle of Wight. I know a couple of you American listeners. I would be surprised if our American listeners have come to the UK and gone to the Isle of Wight, of all the places. But please, let us know. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll speak to you soon, and we appreciate all of you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
You have just experienced host, creator, everything elser of Genuine Chit-Chat, and also the host and creator of Star Wars Comics and Canon, found on the Comics in Motion podcast, Mike Burton.